Hello there, my name is Matt Yorke and I am the Llama Farmer. Hello there everyone and welcome to this very special festive edition of Llama TV. I hate Christmas. Don't get me wrong, I like sitting in front of a fire, spending time with family, drinking coffee, all the sugar, drinking rum. But what I cannot tolerate, what I abhor, is the music. The soulless, plastic music. It really, it just crushes my soul. You having a good time, mate? Fortunately, I can come outside, hang out with these guys, hang out with Hendrix here. He's having a good time, I think, munching this food. It's around about this time of year, or I guess just after Christmas, you hear a lot of people talking about SAD, seasonal affective disorder, and how much the weather and darkness and I guess general time of year affects their mood. I've been fortunate enough never to have suffered from it, and I've got a theory that a lot of that is down to the fact that we live quite rurally, and we've always lived quite rurally for a few decades now. I think it's something that seems to predominantly affect people that live in cities. The way I look at it is, if you surround yourself with cement and concrete, then yeah, it's going to be depressing. In the summertime, obviously, you get a bit more greenery, the weather's nice, sun's out, it's fine. But in the winter, it's cold, can't go outside, it's raining, it's cloudy, it's dark, you're stuck inside, you're stuck surrounded by cement, concrete and artificial things, and it's no wonder people get depressed. What I found, especially since moving down here back to West Wales, you don't really notice winter much. I mean, obviously there's a seasonal change, and being outside every day you notice the change in the trees and the general climate and the animals, but it doesn't impact you the same way, or it impacts you in other ways, I guess, but it's nice to see the changes. It's nice to see all the trees hibernate, go to sleep. It's nice to see animals not suffering in the heat. It's nice to have plenty of water. You finished this now, have you? So much these days is plastic and artificial in some way or other, and it seems to tally with Christmas music. I think that there is absolutely no soul in it whatsoever. It has no redeeming features as far as I'm concerned. Yes, I guess it's happy, but it's sickly happy, it's cheesy happy, it's corporate happy, I think. No coincidence they play it in all the shops at Christmas time, get people in the mood, get them to buy all the Christmas rubbish. I'm quite passionate about music, pretty much like any genre. Music was my life throughout my teen years and my 20s, but still plays a really important part in my life, and I find it offensive when I hear Christmas music. Fortunately these days, don't have to put up with it much. You can get away with hearing very little these days with the advent of internet shopping. You don't have to venture out, fortunately, at Christmas. There's still always one family member though who insists on playing it because it won't be Christmas without Christmas music. I disagree passionately. You don't need it, or if you do, then play good Christmas music. So I'm pretty happy to be able to bring you so much festive cheer in this video. I guess now we need to bring things down a little bit, so let's go cut down a tree. So we're a bit further up the valley now, on a north slope. Just behind me is our house. You might be able to see in the very distance, in the top right of your screen, is Glanrhydwilym, which is the highest point in West Wales, I think. It's the tallest peak on the Preseli Mountains, or Preseli Hills, whichever you prefer. On a good day you can see Snowdon up there. Very much recommend a visit if you're ever down this way. Very beautiful part of the world. The reason we're up here anyway is to see this. This is our Christmas tree and has been for many years. We don't chop it down, and we don't just have an outside tree. We just take cuttings from it because it's so vast and it grows so rapidly that there's always new cuttings, and makes a very formidable tree in a house. My error in previous years is taking what looks like a small, modest cutting, and you get it in the house and it's absolutely huge. So today we're going to take a cutting from this and take it in the house and turn it into a Christmas tree. This year I think we're actually going to take two cuttings. We're going to have two trees. We'll have one in the lounge and one in the kitchen, just because why not? So I was thinking this here would be a good cutting. I just need to work out how to get into it. What a beauty, huh? Okay, number 2. This is the main event. Hey! There you go. Free Christmas tree. Merry Christmas, llama lovers. So I thought while we were up this way, I could introduce you to our pigs. Hey, what happened? This is Boris. Boris the black. And this is Willem the white. These guys have just moved into this pen. When did you move in here? A week or so back? Already trashed it. These used to be old goat sheds. They've taken a bit of a liking to them. This one's been absolutely battered. So they weren't really supposed to be in this field, but I moved these guys back in March. Way over there, in that field up there, that's 3 acres worth of brambles. So these guys have been helping me clear it. They did a really good job of the patch I'd staked out from. I just use normal stock fencing, so for those of you who don't know what that looks like, it looks like that. Kind of stuff you see sheep in, essentially. So, come, I don't know, end of August, September time, they'd clear everything, and I think they were getting a bit bored, to be fair. They dug everything up. It was a moonscape. It looked like that. That's what you do in it, pigs. They obviously started to look for new things to do and started tunnelling under their fence line and got out, didn't you? And so they were roaming around the land, looking very pleased with themselves, as you might expect. And that was kind of okay for a bit, wasn't it? We reached an uneasy truce where, as long as they stayed up in the woods, out of the way, didn't cause any trouble, then I was kind of okay with that. I didn't think it was going to be a long-term solution, but it worked for a little while. And then they decided to start coming down close to the house and coming over to where the llamas were, and took a bit of a shine to the llama stable. And it got to the point where every night the pigs were sleeping in the llama stable and the llamas were standing around outside thinking, why are there pigs in our stable? Not that the llamas would use it, you understand. The llamas very rarely go in their stable. It's basically a glorified toilet for them. Unless, you know, you get hurricane torrential winds, torrential rain. So these guys were very happy in there, and the llamas, I don't think they were too put out, apart from the fact they were wondering why there was pigs in their stable. But then I was doing a llama trek one day, getting the llamas ready. The customers were all ready. We were just getting the llamas out for the customers. And then this guy comes wandering down the hill and comes in the pen. The llamas are not impressed or wander off. And it took a very long time for us to get that trek going. Not only that, they started smashing up some of our other fences, a few of our gates, and it was starting to get just a little bit time consuming and a bit expensive. So the other place we used to find them a lot was up here, and they were in particular in this house. They seemed to like that, so I figured let's move them up here for the winter. And rather than doing a load more fencing, we put an electric fence in. Don't really need much in the way of electric fencing for pigs, so I was told anyway. Apparently these are very smart animals, only need to be stung once, and then they know not to touch it again. Didn't work out quite like that, but after a few days they worked out not to touch the wire. Don't like using electric fences on any animal, but these guys are tanks essentially, aren't you? Willem actually here, he got the hang of the electric fence pretty quickly. Boris on the other hand, he got out a few times, smashed under it, and was off on his merry way back down to the llama stable. Took a few days of him trying to convince him to come back in then, because obviously once he gets blasted, he didn't want to come back in. Eventually managed to bribe him in with plenty of food, and gone for a week or so now without any more pig escapes, so that's good. Here is one of the aforementioned fences. Boris smashed down, the pigs smashed down on their travels. This is one of the biggest trees on the farm. This is Yggdrasil, our daddy oak tree. About 200 years old, we think. Would have been around when Queen Victoria was around. Older than our house, which is pretty old. Very impressive specimen. Supports so much life on that tree. It's pretty spectacular in winter, but even more so in spring and summer when it's got its leaves on. Gives a lot of shade to the animals. Interesting fact, the afterbirth of my son is buried under here somewhere. We came and gave it as an offering to the tree after he was born. This tree gave me quite a lot of advice and support during the labour. Maxon was born in our house, and it was quite a long labour, so occasionally I'd come up and just have a chat with the tree, as you do. I needed a bit of a break every now and again. It's pretty tough being a bloke during labour. I forgot to say earlier, when we were down with the llamas talking about seasonal affective disorder, one of the things I love to see when we have people come and stay on our farms, like our volunteers, a lot of them turn up quite hyper. You can feel all that energy buried in them, just fighting to get out. And after a few weeks, they just turn into this other person. They just become so chilled and relaxed, and you can feel that energy has been released, and it's such a nice thing to watch. Some people more than others, you can see it. I notice particularly the people from London, they come with so much tension and pent-up energy, and then a few weeks down here, they are just entirely different. It's absolutely incredible to see. So thanks for watching, and hope you enjoyed me ranting about Christmas. If you want to feed a llama this Christmas, hit the subscribe button. We really appreciate it. And here comes the rain. Wonderful.